Hi, welcome to Leafwood Learning. This is the Elements of Art. Today we're going to be talking about color and the three properties of color. Hue, the color, is like the name of it. Value, the shades and tint. And the intensity, which is the brightness. This is a good lesson to start with when you're talking about color because we're going to talk about the primary colors, which are red, yellow, and blue, and how those colors can be mixed to create the other colors on the color wheel. So today we're going to be making a pumpkin out of just the red, yellow, and blue colors. And this is a fairly fast art lesson, which is great when you're in a crunch. So what we're going to do is you need a white piece of paper, a black Sharpie, a paintbrush, some water, and some kind of rag or paper towels are fine. And then you need yellow, red, and blue paint. So the first thing I do is we're going to draw a pretty large pumpkin on our page so we have a lot of space to mix colors on. So what I do is I make one long straight line pretty much down the middle of the page. Now I'm going to make two curved lines that start from the top, curve down to the bottom. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, making it as symmetrical as I can. Looks like a football right now. And I'm going to do the same thing again, but I'm going to make this curved line out a little bit farther. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Trying to keep the curved lines as symmetrical as I can, but again, in art, it's fine. Whatever you do, just have fun. And I'm going to try to make my curved lines go out as far to the tip of the page as possible, so I have a nice big space to mix on. Because today, we're not even going to bother using a paint palette. We're going to have our page be our paint palette. Then I'm going to put a stem up at the top. And I like to make a couple of vertical lines to show growth on the stem. And then, of course, some vines curving down the side. You can put leaves on there if you want, or just leave just the vines. Okay, then I don't need my Sharpie anymore. I pick up my paintbrush, and I always like to paint with like a fairly wet paintbrush, damp rather, not too wet. And I like to make sure, see that they're nice and firm. And you're going to take your yellow, you're going to make a nice, pretty big blop right in the middle of the page. And then you're going to pick up your red, and you only need a drop of red. You need much more yellow than you need red to make an orange, okay? An orange shade. So, boop, maybe one or two drops so you can see how much more yellow I have. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to mix this right here on my pumpkin, and I want to kind of think about the shape of the pumpkin. I don't want to go side to side or diagonal. I want to keep with the shape that the pumpkin would have, and I'm just going to use that paint right there, and I'm going to paint in this pumpkin. And you know what? The lines are more guidelines. Don't worry if you go outside the lines. You're more just working on, look, I've made orange using red and yellow. Two primary colors mixed together to make a secondary color, orange. Look how easy. And I'm using nice curved strokes here to paint in my pumpkin. Dun da da da. That looks pretty good. And I'm gonna stop like that. See how I'm painting with those lines that I already drew? So easy. Done. Now I'm gonna wash my paintbrush in the water. And then because there's not watercolor, it's temperas, I'm gonna make sure that I dry it so it's not sopping wet. Still damp, but not sopping wet. Now we're gonna do a background. So we've done red and yellow to make orange. And then what's a great background would be purple by mixing the other primary colors, red and blue. So go ahead, and again, no need for a palette here. You're going to drop blue, 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 blue. Woo, that one's a little bit big. That's okay. And then go ahead and drop some red. And this one you don't have to be as precise with. Whatever shade of purple you get is going to be great. Boop. And then using our paintbrush, we're going to mix it right there on the page. Get a nice deep purple. And each of the sections are going to kind of have a different shade of purple. Well, you can see I have so much blue in this section that the purple didn't even really kind of show. So you can just go right back and add some more red if you don't like that shade of purple. It's like a very, very deep violet. And then down here, it's more purple. And I'm gonna go around, whoa. It's so dark, can't even see the vines anymore, but that's okay. You can always go back over it after it's dry with your Sharpie, and the vines will come right back out. So again, if it's not purple enough for you, see how there's so much blue? You probably want to add some more red, and you can make more of this color purple that I did earlier with my daughter. Very dark. But it looks really kind of neat. It's like a purpley night sky. So if you just really want to have more of a purple, just go ahead and mix it right there on the page. And then you get more of this shade purple that she had earlier. And let's say you wanted to have a lighter shade of purple, you would just go ahead and grab your white paint, and you can just mix right there on there and make a lighter shade of purple using white. Whoa. The page is flying all over the place. Now some people just painted right over the stem with the purple, which is fine. But for those of you that want to make the last secondary color, all it is blue and yellow, make green. So that one, this is going to be like the tiniest little drop ever because my spot, boop. Not much to it there. Well, that's going to be way too much blue. I can already tell. So I'm going to grab a little bit off and then mix it right there. See? Too much blue. Easily remedied though. And there's my green spot. So when it's all dry, you can go back on over with Sharpie and get all those vines back if you really want to, or you can just let them be covered up. Anyways, that's an easy way to teach primary and secondary colors using only primary colors. Thank you. Hope you had fun and keep arting.